What's up guys, it's Dekkster and I wanted to go over the Hearthstone meta. It seems like it's pretty stable right now. I don't think too much is going to change leading up to the new expansion. The new expansion also, it has been announced if you didn't know, and that's going to be coming on August 6th. So mark your calendar, get ready, and if you're thinking of crafting something, I mean, it's going to be stable for a month, and then of course the new expansion comes out and everything is going to be unstable again. I don't know how your dust situation is, but make your decision wisely. Anyways, we're gonna go over this report from Vicious Syndicate. Thank you so much to Vicious Syndicate for doing these reports almost every week. I'm not affiliated with them or anything. Just check them out. They write a great report. I'm gonna link it in the description below. So first off, let's look at the class archetype distribution. At all ranks, we can see, you know, hunters just killing it, followed by warrior, mage, and then a rogue, shaman, and then a pretty steep fall off to druid, paladin, priest, and warlock. But hunter and warrior are just so abundant. Let's switch to ranks 4 to 1. Pretty much the same thing. There's more hunters and more warriors. We got 26.6% hunter and almost 20% warrior, and then 13% mage. So you're usually gonna run into one of these three classes. Rogue actually seeing a little bit less popularity in the ranks 4 to 1 area for some reason. And then when we go to legend, we see a very interesting shift here. Still a ton of hunter. It's still the #1 class. A ton of warrior, still that #2 class. And then we got mage almost catching up to warrior here because there is so much cyclone mage. Once you hit legend, it's just, it changes. You go from a 13% ranks 4 to 1 to almost 18% at legend. It's definitely a good deck. It's a lot of fun. But in addition to mage, you can see rogue is shooting up in popularity as well, going from 11% to almost 16%. And you can kind of see how, you know, mage and rogue are getting popular in legend. Is you're seeing a lot less warlock, a lot less priest, a lot less paladin, a lot less druid. So those points are going to rogue and mage. So let's look at class frequency. Let's look at by week first. Yeah, I mean, it's still a little messy. Maybe they can like shorten this to be like the last, I don't know, the year of the dragon or something, because seeing all the way from Boomsday, it's a bit overwhelming. Let's look at by day. So looking at by day, you can definitely tell where the nerfs hit rogue, right? You see the rogue just plummeting and then starts building back up in popularity as people learn to work around the nerf. And then you see the buffs hitting, changing everything once again. Paladin surging in play because Christology got buffed and everyone wanted to try that out, but it seemed like Christology wasn't performing as good as everyone was expecting, and Paladin started dwindling off again. We see warrior just making that climb up. You're gonna see so much warrior. I hope you really enjoy playing against warrior. All right, so here are the matchup win rates. Rank 4 to legend. Unfortunately, it seems like they're not getting as much data as they were usually, so you're not going to see as many colors here. But the more green, that means more good matchups. The more red, that means more bad matchups. So looking here at the bottom, it seems like, you know, warrior. It's hard to go wrong with warrior. Or even better, at the top, bomb hunter. There's so much green on that line. Oh my god. Why would you not play bomb hunter if you want to win games? All right, let's look at power rankings starting at ranks 4 to 1. We got Bomb Hunter, Control Warrior, and Bomb Warrior, all in T1. Bomb Hunter, you know, quite a bit higher than the Warriors. So if you're just looking for one deck to grind, that's probably going to be the one. But if you enjoy a Warrior for some reason, just play Control Warrior and Bomb Warrior. At the top of T2, and I think the easiest deck to climb quick with, you got Murloc Shaman, followed by Mech Paladin, which is doing a lot better recently, a lot better than I had expected as well, making a little bit of a comeback. And then you got Cyclone Mage, Party Rogue, Token Druid, and Aggro Shaman. If you look at Legend, we only got 2 classes in Tier 1, and that is Bomb Hunter and Murloc Shaman. And yeah, once again, Murloc Shaman, it could just refill the board. It could flood it super fast. Your opponent deals with it. You don't care. You just flood again. It could be warriors. It could be anything. I mean, pretty much same thing with Bomb Hunter. We got Cyclone Mage at the top of T2, and Bomb Warrior and Control Warrior, really taking that 4th and 5th place here. Then we got Party Rogue, Secret Hunter, and Aggro Shaman. So the main difference here between Aggro Shaman and Murloc Shaman, Aggro Shaman's got, you know, the spells on the face, maybe the Electra. It's got a Thunderhead Overload package usually, and then it's got the Doomhammer and the Rock Biters. And Murloc Shaman is just It's just Murlocs. All right, so let's look at the VS Metascore. Ranks 4-1 here. I really love this graph. You know, the further to the top right, that means it's like just the best deck. The further along the x-axis, the further to the right, that's the stronger the deck is. And the further up on the y-axis, that means the more popular the deck is. So for example, Bomb Hunter, far to the right, far up, it's so strong and it's so popular. It's gonna be your go-to deck if you just want to grind out games and you don't want to play anything off meta or anything like that. Once again, one of my favorite things to do here is look for something that's not too popular, not too frequent, but it's pretty strong, but it's got a pretty good power score. So that bottom right area, maybe that Murloc Shaman, maybe that Mech Paladin. Actually, I haven't been playing much Mech Paladin. That kind of looks like it'd be a good time. Now, if you go to Legend, it's totally different meta score here. You can see Murloc Shaman all the way slammed to the right, just creaming other decks when you play Murloc Shaman. So powerful. Up in the power of Bomb Hunter, just way less popular. Cyclone Mage, also very powerful, super far to the right there. Also very, very popular. Actually more popular than Bomb Hunter. But really, just, you know, a lot of these decks are doing great. All right, so I'm gonna go through each class and pretty much talk about whatever deck stands out to me from there. Maybe it's a really good deck, or maybe it's just something that's kind of interesting, maybe a little bit off meta, but generally just a pretty good deck. So for Hunter, Bomb Hunter is kind of your way to go here. You want a deck that climbs, you want a deck that's super aggressive, you want some magnets. This is the way to go. It's so good. Probably the best deck in the game right now. Try it out. You got a beautiful curve here. You know, you drop Mecharoo on one, and then you slap down a Galvanizer or a Framebot or something. You just start building up your mechs, you know, through Snip Snap, through other magnets like Replicating Menace, through War Gears that are discounted, through missile launchers. Then you got the Venomizer missile launcher combo that just clears the board. It's very dirty. Plus you got Boom Master Flark. You throw them down, got all those bombs. Your opponent's probably gonna clear them, or you can clear them yourself, and then you kill them. They die. The deck just seems so good. It's so aggressive. If your opponent doesn't have healing, they're really gonna struggle. So if that's your sort of thing, try out the Snip Snap Bomb Hunter. All right, for Warrior, we got Snip Snap Control Warrior, which has not really changed. You've probably seen a lot of that, but I'm gonna talk about Snip Snap Bomb Warrior here. It's very similar, but it's got a slightly different take. Much more aggressive. We got that bomb package in there with the Clockwork Goblins, with the Wrench Calibers, with the Elix, and the Blast Master Boom, where if you can even pull out 4 little bots, you're gonna do fantastic. So this deck seems very interesting, where you can, you know, be the beatdown, or you can control. You can really change up your game plan. Do you want to play fast and put a bunch of pressure on them? They're drawing bombs, they're dying. Or do you want to take it slow, kind of control them, just clear them with your shield slams, clear them with your rush minions, clear them with your Dynamatics, your Devastators. This deck is just so versatile, so strong, so well-rounded. If you're looking for a warrior deck, I mean, Control Warrior is great, and so is a Bomb Warrior here. All right, so for Mage, we got the Snip Snap Cyclone, we got the Freeze Mage, the Galaxy Spectres Mage. I'm gonna go over Freeze Mage because I've always enjoyed Freeze Mage as an archetype. And with this buff to Luna's Pocket Galaxy, it seems insane right now. 2 mana buff to Galaxy as just, it's so good. Feels like if you're able to play it, you kind of just win, especially if you're as good as my opponents and you just coin out Galaxy and you top deck like Antonidas, or you play Intellect and you get like Antonidas and an Astromancer. You kind of just win the game. Like before the buffs and the nerfs and everything happened, Freeze Mage seemed to be behind the scenes. It was a good deck. It looked very promising. And then after Pocket Galaxy got buffed, this thing just went through the roof. A lot of the success of this deck doesn't only come from Pocket Galaxy, but comes from the strength of Conjurer's Calling. It's such a good card. Throw down a Mountain Giant, hit it with the Conjurer's Calling. You know, you get 2 8/8s, or you can get a Grave Horror. Maybe you're using it on your Geppetto or your Astromancer, or your Alex Struz, or really just any of your big minions. You're always going to get a ton of value out of Conjurers. So if you like Mage, you like the Freeze Mage style, try this out. Maybe Cyclone Mage tickles your pickle a little bit more, but this one's pretty good. All right, so for Rogue, they got pretty hurt by Vanish getting taken out of the game. I mean, it seemed like Pogo Rogue was kind of flourishing. Maybe after it, you know, got messed around with, it was gonna be pretty decent. But now that's kind of just off the table. We do have Party Rogues, which are still running, you know, raiding party. If you want to check those out, look at the report. I'm gonna talk about Mech Hooktusk Rogue. This is just the most fun rogue deck in my opinion. We got a nice mech package in here. We got a nice Burgle package. And of course, you know, Togwaggle with the lackeys, and then Captain Hooktusk just seals the deal. Such a good card to drop on 8. If you haven't pulled all your pirates and your opponent doesn't have a board clear like Brawl or Warpath, you're probably just gonna straight up win from Hooktusk, because it'll pull out your Scalpers, it'll pull out your Amalgams, it'll pull out your Burglars. You usually don't want to pull your Burglars, but it's not terrible. But if you pull your Scalper, you have the overkill mechanic where you draw cards, so just using that to draw is just, it's nutty. But yeah, back to the little mech package here. We got the Mecharoos, we got the Amalgams, we got the Snip Snaps and the Zilliacs, and really that's kind of, it's just enough. Snip Snap is just such a strong card. Maybe you're just throwing it on curve on a Mecharoo or something like that, or maybe you're just throwing it on an Amalgam, getting a nice trade, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's just like Snip Snap is so good. And then yeah, that little Burgle package here with the Hinge Clan Burglar, getting a card from your opponent, getting a card from another class, getting that free Vendetta, turning that Underbelly into a 2-mana 3/4 with Rush. It's good. It's amazing. Check out this deck if you have the cards. I would maybe hold off on crafting some of the cards like Hooktusk. Maybe you got the cards for one of the party rogues instead. Try that out. Don't craft this. Don't craft Hooktusk so close to the rotation. Although maybe she's gonna be fine. I feel like she'll be in the upcoming rogue decks. All right, so we got Shaman here, and Shaman has 2 really good decks, and that's Murloc Shaman and Aggro Shaman. Now there's also Control Shaman, and Control Shaman's kind of doing okay. And there's also like a Evolve Shaman that I've been seeing that's a lot of fun, but it doesn't have the results that these have. Now while Murloc Shaman is nuts and it can get you an easy legend, I'm gonna talk about Aggro Shaman because I really enjoy the playstyle of this. It does have a sort of miracle feel to it. Heavily revolves around Spirit of the Frog, at least in my experience. It feels like sometimes you don't draw a frog, you kind of just die, but sometimes you draw the frog, you play the frog, and you just start popping off with your spells. Maybe you zap, you do some Earth Shocks, Lightning Bolts, Voltaic Burst, Earthen Might, maybe even a Rock Biter in there, and that's gonna pull all your other spells, kind of thin your deck out so you get closer to drawing the other cards that you want. You throw down a Doomhammer, you hit it with a couple Rock Biters, you slap them in the face for a ton of damage, and you just win from there. Now Vicious Syndicate is saying this version is like the one. I guess I personally like Electra in here because I guess maybe she's a win more card or something like that, but she just feels great to me. Sometimes you just want that extra Lava Burst, maybe you just want that extra Rock Biter weapon or that extra Earthen Might or something. I don't know. If you don't have her, play this one. If you do have her, maybe mess around with her, maybe take out like one Tidecaller or something. But the Murloc package here is actually just nutty. Angler is an incredible threat. Your opponent must deal with the Angler. If they do not, and you follow it up with some Slurpers, some Tidecallers, you just start getting all this value, and it's gonna be bad for your opponent. Thunderhead getting that buff, 1 extra health, has just been insane for this deck. You got so many overload cards. It's a lot harder to remove the Thunderhead, and if they can't remove it, they're gonna have a bad time. All right, so for Paladin, we do have the Mech Paladin build where they got a couple cards buffed. They got the Crystology buffed, they got the Glowstone Technician buffed. I don't know if I'm missing any other ones, but that's really all they needed, because now you just draw, you get a bunch of little mechs, you buff them up, and then you start just building a huge mech, one huge giant mech. Then you can hit it with a Faceless Manipulator, or maybe it just dies. You don't even care if it dies because you bring it back with Kangor's Endless Army, which will bring back all the magnetic effects, not like buffs like Blessing of Kings. None of that stuff would work on it, but that's why, I guess that's why we're not running that stuff. But the magnetics will work with it, not the Glowstone Technician buffs, just the magnetics. But this deck is very promising. It's actually like seeing a surge in popularity as far as what I've seen. It's fun to play, nothing like building a big mech. It's successful, it's very good. I guess it's a bit expensive, especially running like Countess Ashmore. You could probably drop that for like an extra Faceless Manipulator or Prismatic Lens and you'll probably be okay. But yeah, Mech Paladin's always a good time. All right, so Token Druid seems to be like the only Druid deck that anybody's really playing and nothing else has just caught on at all. They did kind of neuter Druids, taking away all their ramp, and this is what we got. We got Token. Token wasn't really a thing last expansion, and I started seeing all the cards that were getting announced. I was very excited. I was like, oh boy, finally a Token Druid, and now it's like all we've seen for Druid. It's a good deck. It's relatively budget, and if you haven't played it yet, it's still quite enjoyable. So basically what we're doing here, we're throwing down a bunch of little dudes. We're hitting them with buffs. If your opponent can't deal with the board, you hit them with the Savage Roar, and you kill your opponent. Now this version is actually quite interesting because it does not run Soul of the Forest. I guess we're just hoping to flood the board over and over, and if they deal with it, you just flood it again instead of relying on that Soul of the Forest. So you play a Microtech, they clear it. You play another Microtech, they clear that, play an Explodinator, they clear that, play Whispering Woods. I don't know, play 4 Force Aid in a row. Hopefully they're gonna run out of things. You hit it with a Roar and you kill them. Maybe some Blessings of Ancients as well. We also got the Sea Giants in here because your Sea Giant's usually gonna be pretty cheap because you're gonna flood the board and your opponent's probably gonna play a couple things as well. So Priest getting destroyed, Mind Blast removed. I don't know why they removed Mind Blast, but it's like, it's really bad. It sucks that they removed it. It just, Priest wasn't even in a good spot anyway, but it's gone, okay? It's gone. So instead, we got this sort of mech combo thing here. This is Matsup's mech combo Priest. You put some things on the board, you maybe magnetize them, you make them bigger, maybe you throw down a frame bot, they can't deal with it. Hit it with a Gatekeeper, hit it with a Divine Inner Fire, and destroy your opponent. Or maybe they keep killing your things, so you put down a Coppertail Imposter, and he's real stealthy. Then you hit him with the Gatekeepers the next turn, and you slap your opponent in the face. We got a Master Spell to remove some taunts. We got Silences if we want to remove some taunts that way. We got Unpowered Steambot, which just has a ton of health but no attack, but you don't care because you have Inner Fire. And then yeah, just a bunch of Magnetics. This one's actually a lot of fun. I do enjoy this deck. I've been enjoying Combo Priest. I've actually just been enjoying Priest in general, even though Mind Blast got wrecked. I like Extra Arms. It's like a better version of Blessing of Kings now because you can divvy it up, and something just feels dirty about playing Cleric and then playing Extra Arms on the next turn. But yeah, try this out if you like combo. There's a few combo Priest decks out there, and Vicious Syndicate, I guess, thinks this is the best one. All right, so for Warlock, Warlock, nothing's really catching on. I've been messing around with handlocks. They go about 50-50. I think Kibler's been messing around with a Plot Twist lock that he's doing pretty well with, but the only one that really has the stats is Zoo Warlock, and it's the same as it's been for quite a while. I wish they really got a new archetype. Hopefully with the next expansion, something's gonna happen. But yeah, here's Carpet Zoo lock. You got a bunch of cheap things. You got a bunch of lackeys. You throw down the Magic Carpet, then you get a bunch of 1-drops with that rush, with that increased attack. They slap things, you stick a board, you hit it with a Grim Rally, and you slowly whittle down your opponent. We also got the Sea Giant because your board's going to be flooded. We got the Archvillain Rafam as your backup plan because if things aren't going well, you just slap them down, you hope for the best. Yeah, that's about it. This is probably going to be the way the meta is until the next expansion, of course. Then there will be a huge shakeup, hopefully. Hopefully we see less mech hunters, less control and bomb warriors at least, less Cyclone Mages maybe. But yeah, hoping for some new archetypes once the new expansion finally arrives. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what deck you're enjoying the most in the comments below. If you like the video, be sure to hit it with a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Hit that sub button if you enjoy my content. Oh yeah, I stream on Twitch. If you haven't followed my Twitch yet, be sure to follow that as well. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck on ladder and stay hydrated.